Now, as I said, there are new, fresh exams on Moodle. Last year's exams are up there. There are 4 versions of these exams. And we're just going to jump around to random topics to help you prepare topics that you find difficult. There is one question I definitely want to do. I did it with the other group. It is on the version, I think, 2 paper, version 3. Where was it now? Let me find it. Yes, version 2, B5. Can you open that, please? A very interesting question. B5 version 2. A. Got that?
It's under NCUK semester.
Yeah, it's the 2017-2018. I put that folder there yesterday. Do you have it open? Come on, guys, what's taking so long?
Slowly. Question B.
B5. All right. A curve C has the equation y equals 24x cubed minus 18x power 4 plus 8. Find dy dx. Easy peasy, right? That is 72x squared minus 72x cubed. Right? Why can't you find it? It's wrong. B5, version 2. Are you looking at the right exam? Huh? Yeah. No, is it? Or 17, whatever the one up the top is.
Yeah. What? 17.
Oh, you're making this so needlessly complicated. Just go to the folder at the top, the most recent one, open it and look at version 2. Amjad. What? No, Amjad, don't make me get off my seat. I hate getting off my seat and walking.
Mathematics for science, they go down all the way for exams. Not exemplar, exams. Okay, 2017, 18.
Thank you, Mo. Thank you.
It's right there.
I might have strangled him. Continuing now. So, part B. Show that there are stationary points when x equals 0 and x equals 1. Right, so let's get the stationary points here. What do we do to get the stationary points?
Sub in or get 0.
Ah, no, come on. Did you have class at 9 o'clock?
No.
No, so you're still asleep.
Yeah.
Wakey. How do I get the stationary points? What equals 0? First derivative. Do I have the first derivative? Yes. So make this equal to 0. So I'll take out 72x squared, and I'm left with 1 minus x. So what are the two solutions here? 0 or 1. Okay. Now, for part C here, they ask you to look at 2 different locations. The first one when x is 0, and the second one when x is 1. By the way, when x is 0, what's the value of y? If I put 0 into this, what do I get for y?
8.
8, good. And when I put 1 in, what do I get? 14, I think. 14, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How do I determine the nature of these points? I need to calculate another derivative. So if I get the second derivative, I'll just write it on the top. d2y, no, I'll put it on the top. d2y dx squared, that's equal to 144x minus 216 x squared. What happens if I put 0 into this?
0.
I get 0. So let's recap. The first derivative is equal to 0. The second derivative is also equal to 0. So what happens here? Do you remember the flow chart? When the first derivative is 0 and the second derivative is 0? No? What do we do? What do we do? Yes. You look at the third derivative. So what's the third derivative here? It's 144 minus 512x. Now when you put x as 0, what do you get here? Positive, negative, or positive? So that means you get what's called the rising inflection point, like that.
So it's 432. Right?
What is?
144 minus
512.
432.
Yes,
216 times 2.
Oh, sorry, thank you.
It's not binary.
432, thank you. Well, results still the same here. I have rising inflection point. Okay, let's recap what we have here. When I put in, the first derivative is 0, and when I put 1 into this, what do I get? Positive or negative?
Negative.
I get a negative. Wonderful. What does that mean? First is 0 and second is negative. What point is that?
It's the opposite of that.
No?
Okay.
Concave. Very good. It's a maximum, isn't it? It's like this. So here, this is a rising inflection point. And this one here is a local maximum, or concave. Okay. You see, I had a feeling we should do this one. Oh yeah, well I'm not finished this one, but we can do another calculus one after this.
It's not hard. The trig is hard.
That's what the other group said as well.
Trig is hard. It is.
Is it?
Yes.
Harder than this? Yeah.
Yeah. Especially the problems.
Okay.
Practical.
D part. Sketch. Oh, what am I doing? There's X. That's ugly. There's X. There's Y. We'll go 5, 10, 15. And then we'll go 0, 1, 2, 3. 0. So my first point is 0, 8, wasn't it?
0, 8.
No, 0, 8.
Oh, yes, 0, 8.
And my second one was 1, 14. Now what type of point did I have at 0? What type was 0, 8? What's the nature there? Rising inflection. So it goes like this. And then at the 114?
It was a concave.
Yeah, concave. Right, there you go. I graphed this with the other students. It is actually this shape. It looks very strange. It is actually this shape. Okay. E part 1. Again, another strange and interesting question. They said the student calculated the following integration and they got the answer minus 4 and 21/80ths. Explain why they're wrong without calculating the answer. So they don't want you to integrate, they want you to think of a reason why this integration is obviously wrong. Well, the reason is, if you integrate from 0 to a half, that's the same as calculating the area. Now, if you look at the area from 0 to a half, that's this area here.
It's always
Well, it has to be positive. Not only that, the area looks like it's roughly 40, because it's about a half times 8, roughly. So the area is roughly 40, which is certainly not minus 40 and 21/80ths. So what do you think the student did wrong here to get such an answer? Like, we were thinking the answer should be roughly 40, and they got roughly minus 40. So what mistake did they make?
there's a value at 0.0 minus the.
Yeah, in other words, they had their subtraction backwards. They put the numbers in the wrong way around.
Yeah, you're supposed to make a half 0 minus half, or no?
And you see, you're that student.
Half minus 0.
That's it, yes. Okay? They don't want you to calculate the answer. They want you to explain why their answer is wrong.
Oh, sorry, the answer is 421.
Yeah, it's minus 40.
Not 40.
Oh, sorry. What the fudge? Man, oh man. That previous group really took it out of me. Okay. A half times 8 is 4 and not 40. Yeah. Okay, part 2. They calculate the tangent line at a half and they got the answer 5 and 3/8 minus 9x. Why is this answer obviously wrong? Can anyone see a reason why that's not quite right?
Which one?
The tangent line. The last part. Why is their tangent equation obviously wrong?
What can there are 8s in a tangent?
They got the tangent here. They got this tangent at a half. Why is their answer obviously wrong? No obvious reason? Well, what's the slope of my tangent at this point?
0.
No, at this point. It's positive.
Positive, yeah.
And what's theirs? Negative.
Yeah.
Remember, we said it's a rise in inflection point. But they have it as if it was a fall in inflection point, because their slope is negative.
Why is it minus 9?
Yeah, that's it. It's wrong.
So minus 9x.
Yeah,
No,
so
it's positive.
exactly. So the point, what is it? X equals, or the point at x equals a half is rising. Remember, we said rise in inflection. So that means the m, which is dy dx, should be positive, but of course minus 9 is less than 0. So I think the actual answer is 9. I calculated with the other group. So again, they made a sign error. Yeah. So this student had trouble with their signs.
The graph,
Yeah? What's your question?
which sign
I don't know how they made this sign mistake. They got minus 9, the answer should have been 9.
Yeah. Like when you're calculating the slope.
Again, perhaps they typed it in backwards. They were in Arabic mode. They did y minus x instead of x minus y. I don't know. Something like this.
Can you give
Oh, that can be part 3. Guess the nationality of the student. The student comes from a culture where they write right to left and likely got confused by the
Just because
signs.
we write from right to left, sir, doesn't mean we do the equations wrong.
I know, I'm being ridiculous, thank you. Okay, so that's B5. What will we have a look at next? I know, Savi, you said you wanted to do another calculus one, and I know you said you wanted to do some trig questions, yeah?
No, I have a question from the.
From the book, okay. You want to do a log one? Okay. I want to keep the topics going, so I will do a calculus one, but after I do a log one, and then we'll do whatever you want after that. An integration. Yes. The big ugly ones.
No. Yeah, well, that and the other one.
Yeah, okay. What type of log one do you want to do? A log equation or a log practical problem, or what type? Okay. Let's see. Since I have version 2 open, do they have a log equation? Not in version 2. What about version 1?
B6.
B6 has a log? B6? Where's the log in that?
Well, it has logs.
Ah, that's just log 4. No. I know what she wants. She wants a thing where you have to simplify, I'd say. Right?
Now 17, 18, B2.
Which version?
Version 2.
B2? Ah, yeah, the last part of B4 is good. Actually, B4 looks like a good one because it gets both what you were looking for, a practical and a log equation. Yeah? Will we do B4? We'll do the whole thing B4. Dude, you are the one who gave me this question. Amjad, did you wake up this morning and think to yourself, how can I make Stephen more angry today than he usually is? Yeah, okay, that's true. They had their contribution as well. Okay. B4. On a large estate, oh for goodness sake, a survey is carried out on the population of birds. The number of birds after T years is given by the formula 500 minus 450 e to the minus kt, where k is a constant. Write down the number of birds at the start of the survey. So at the beginning of the survey, that's when t is 0. So it's 50. 50. Right?
Yeah.
Because you put t is 0, that's 1.
That's 1,
Yeah, oh, be careful now. Right, 2. After 4 years, there were 253 birds. Find the value of k after 4 years. Right, what should I do first?
Substitutes.
I subbed in, yeah. I'm going to bring that 500 to the left. I get minus 247 equals minus 450. E minus 4k. Next. I can cancel the minuses and divide. Who has a calculator handy? 247 divided by 450. 3 goes into both, doesn't it? So it should simplify. What do you get?
1.8.
What's as a fraction?
No, it can be simplified.
3 doesn't go into both?
Yeah.
Alright, fine. 450 over 247 then equals E minus 4k. What do I do next? Log. Log here, log here, log cancels the E. So now I have log 450.
Is it the other way around?
How does 450 and 247?
That is a very good question.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
It's 247.
Sorry, it's mostly because of Amjad right now. It's not entirely you, Amjad. I'm also a bit hungry as well. Right, that is 247 over 450. So, yeah, I'll leave it at the moment as a fraction, okay? Maybe I'll convert it in a second. I think what I'll do is I'll just put it all in the calculator in one go. So I'll have log 247 over 450 over minus 4 is the k, which is roughly, I sure hope, 0.15. Someone could confirm that, please. That would be great.
This answer is 0.1499.
Okay. Who can tell me the unit for this?
Birds per.
Birds per year?
No, per day?
T is years. Not this. Yeah. Are you using ln or log? Guys, who can tell me the unit for the K? Should really put the unit with it. Anyone know this? No? Could have been though. That's the unit for N, is birds. Well, there's only 2 units in this, birds and years.
Birds per year?
He already said that one. Do you know how to figure out what the unit of something is? Does Colin not teach you this in biology?
I don't know.
Concentration. How many birds you can cram into a year? Molar birds. Yeah.
Population of birds?
Okay, we're way off. So, let me show you. You need to examine the original equation, okay? So look here. What unit is the N? Birds. Okay, fine. Now, the 50 came about because it was 500 minus 450. So what units are these 500s and 450s?
Birds.
They're also birds, fine. Fine. Now, what unit is the T?
Time.
That's years.
Yeah, time, which is years here, okay? Now, the K, let's figure this out.
The amount of years.
What unit is KT? Well, there should be, no actually, there should be no unit on the KT. You need to listen, because nobody gave me the right answer here. There should be no unit on the KT. The reason for this is birds, and this is birds, and they combine to make birds. You don't want a unit here. Like, for example, imagine this was also years. Then you can't have this equation anymore, because you can't have birds minus bird years. Because you know you can only add things that are the same units, right? You can add birds with birds. You can't add birds with years or birds with something else, right? So this must have no units. But I just said the T is in units of years. T is years. So what must the K be so that in total we have no units? Yes, anti-years, which is what exactly? 1 over year. 1 over year. Anti-years, as you put it. So this unit is years to the minus 1. That's the unit. Did you not learn this in biology or chemistry? No. You need to talk to your science teachers. Okay, so that's the unit there for the K. Now, you won't lose the mark if you don't have the unit there for this part, but you will for the next part I'm about to do. Question? Yes? To which part? Oh, that was provided in the question. Yeah. Okay. Next part. What is the dn dt? So what's the derivative here? That would be minus 450 times minus k e to the minus kt. Oh, sorry, not the k. Minus 0.15 t. You just bring the power down. But we have the value of t. What is it? It's 5, isn't it?
What they give us.
Minus 0.75. What do we get here?
67.5.
Yeah, it's minus 7.
3 significant figures.
No, there's no.
No, it's
just
accurate.
Oh, it's exact.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. Right. What's the units here for dn dt?
Birds per year.
That's the one. Birds per year. Birds per year. It's birds over time. Okay. When using this formula, the population of birds cannot exceed a certain number. What is this number? Now that's... Yeah, to be fair, that's actually a very hard question, because that's not... This is what I meant when a couple of weeks ago I said sometimes you get questions which, strictly speaking, aren't on the syllabus, strictly speaking. So there is no part of the syllabus where we had to consider this.
Sir, I messed
Yeah.
up with the answer.
It's not 67.5? But he got 67.5.
I mean the first part, the minus 450 times minus 0.15 is 67.5.
Oh! That explains why it was exact.
Okay, I'm sorry. That's
No problem. What is it,
messed
though?
up.
Then Mo did the exact same mistake you did.
I did.
You guys are so similar. Right, what should it be? What should it be here? 31.8.
8.
So 31.9. Right. So n equals 500 minus 450 e minus 0.15 t. So they want to know what's the limit here. What must this be less than? What's the maximum it could possibly be? Well, if you think about the graph, what's happening to this graph?
It's converted
Yeah, to where?
to
500.
Well, the whole thing is convergent to 500 because what's happening to this part? If you were to graph just this, what's it doing?
It's just getting smaller till
It's getting smaller until
500.
to 0.
0.
It's shrinking down to 0. So here's the situation. You have n equals 500 minus a number which is getting smaller and smaller as time goes on. So 500 is what we're approaching, isn't it? The n should always be less than 500. Now it'll eventually reach 500, like practically, because you'll get 499.99999. So since you can't have 499.9999 birds, it seems like the population is reaching 500. So we predict that you will not get more than 500 birds.
It could be 500.
Well, you must remember that this curve is estimating a real life event. And if the curve is 499.999, mathematically it won't reach 500. But the question was not mathematically. The question was, when using this formula, the population of birds, so the actual real life birds, can't exceed what? It can't exceed 500. I'm not even actually saying that it will be 500. I'm just saying it can't exceed 500. You certainly can't get 501. That's for sure.
It's not equal to it. N is just less than 500.
It depends if you want to be Okay, fine. I'll say this, but then I'll say the number of birds is less than or equal to 500.
No, that's right.
Yeah, okay, thank you, Mo. Feel better? Okay, part B now. Two x equals 512. What should I do first?
Multiply the powers.
Yeah, so I get 2x squared. 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512. This is 2 power 9. So x squared equals 9. So that means plus or minus 3 is the answer. 1 mark. Oh man, that sucks. Alright, that's part 1. Part 2. 8 power 2x minus 5, 8x plus 4 equals 0. 8 power x squared minus 5, 8 power x plus 4 equals 0. What type of equation is this? It is quadratic and the variable is 8 power x. So we'll go with 8x minus 4 minus 1 equals 0. So 8x equals 4, 8x equals 1. So that means 2 cubed x equals 2 squared, and 2 cubed x equals 2, 0. You could use logs if you like, yeah. So you get 3x equals 2, or 3x equals 0. So you get x is 2/3 or 0. Okay. Lastly, the log one. Log base 7.
Hold on a second, please.
Okay.
25.
Did you skip breakfast?
No, I don't eat breakfast.
Did you skip breakfast? No, I didn't eat breakfast.
I never eat breakfast. That's what's.
Nobody eats.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
You're. Well,
Now I
okay.
believe in breakfast.
You're catch. All right. Did you forego breakfast?
Yes.
Okay. You never eat breakfast.
Never.
That's an outrage.
No, it's just.
I don't know.
Tut, tut, tut. This is why you're going
I have
slower.
my health reasons.
Okay. Okay.
Why didn't you change the 1 to 8
That's a good idea, actually. I would have saved a step, wouldn't I? If I changed the 1 to 80, I would have cut out a middle step. No, that's a good idea. It just felt natural to make both of them 2's. To make everything 2's. Okay. Log base 7, 9x plus 11. Minus log base 7, x minus 1 equals 2. Right, what should I do first here? Yeah, which rule of logs is that? The second rule. Log base 7, 9x plus 11 over x minus 1 equals 2. Right, now what's next?
So you know the 2 to what is 2 is 49.
You could, or another way to do it, from the definition of logs. What does this translate to as a power equation? You could say 7 power 2. You're saying that this, apparently to this power, should equal that. I know it's the same, young thing, I know. Whoa-ho-ho. There we go. So the idea here is if you have a statement like log base b of x equals y, you can change that into b power y equals x. Because that's the definition of what a log does. You know, if I said to you log base 2, 8, what does this equal to?
3.
3, because 2 cubed is 8. That is the meaning of logs. So back to here.
Well, can we say log?
Yes, you already asked me that. You can. You want to change the 2 into log 749? Yes. Yes. Your high school teacher will be proud of you for remembering that trick. Good job. Who's your teacher? I can give them credits on my channel. Right. So 49 equals. I'm sure he'll like or she'll like this video later. Yeah. 49 equals 9x plus 11 over x minus 1. Cross multiplying. 49x minus 49 equals 9x plus 11. 40x equals 60. X equals 60 over 40, which is 3 over 2. That's kind of a lot of work for 3 marks. Bit heavy.
Well, question,
Yeah.
sir. Over here in the exam, they said you have to show step by step, like
Yeah.
all work must be shown.
Yeah.
But can you do like, you know, when you're dividing and multiplying? I usually don't.
Do you
show-
feel like I skipped a step
No, no. Well,
that you would have not written down?
no. I would have written it like that, but I mean, you're not showing that you're multiplying and dividing, you know. So. Can
Oh, you
do
mean
that?
like bringing this up here?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I feel it's so obvious that it's not necessary.
Because they're asking to show
It's
steps. I
like
don't know.
junior high.
I think when they say that, they really care about seeing this step.
Yeah, I mean the
For sure.
Yeah.
So do we just need to mention the rules, which rules should I apply here?
No. Because look, the thing here, Mo, is what they don't want you to do, and this is what you should keep in mind, is all work must be shown. Why? Because just the answer, even the correct one, will score no marks. So they're saying that even if you wrote down x equals 3 over 2, you get 0 marks for this one. That's what they're saying. So the all workings to be shown is not to punish you like here.
Yeah.
It's simply to make it clear that simply the answer
Yeah. See if
means
you
no
can follow
marks.
it.
Yeah.
Duty is manually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Manually, yeah, not acceptable. Okay, I want to do calculus one I know, Seth, you wanted, and the trig one as well. But because of the time, I feel like I can only maybe get a section A one in there. Which, as a group, we'll do more at 3 o'clock. So right now, we want to see a trig or a calculus one now.
Can we do integration from the book?
Not from the book. What? There's plenty of hard
We didn't
integrations in these exams.
We didn't do the one of the parts, and I'm confused now.
Okay, I'll do that one in the class after lunch.
Yeah.
What I want to know right now, a section A question, do we want to do derivative, integration, or trig?
Trig. Easy. Trig.
I'm hearing more trigs than anything else. Is that okay? I can do the integration one after lunch. Yeah? Because we have a double class after lunch. We'll continue with what we're doing. Every class is a tutorial now anyway, so we'll just continue. So we said trig. Right. A trig equation.
Yep.
I can see in version 4 there's a trig on A6. I can see in version 1 there's a trig. Okay, so you can pick version 1, version 4. Let's see what version 3's trig is like. No trig in version 3. Interesting. And then version 4. Right, I'm going to write down the 3 trig equations. You tell me which one we want to solve now. So,
Is it section A?
it's section A. I'm writing them down now. Version 1, the equation looks like this. Cos 2 theta equals minus 0.766. Version 4's one is... Oh, they're just... No, okay. Version 4, where did it go? I don't see one there. Version 4, there we go. 2 sine theta plus 80 degrees equals root 3. And then, do we got another one here? No, I just think it's the 2 of them.
Version 4 is
You want to see version 4?
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. Alright, there's only the 2
We've
of them.
actually done version 1 in the past, last week.
Okay,
We've done the same question.
version 4?
Yeah.
Yes? You don't like the look of it? Good. So version 4 it is, and you're told that the theta is between 0 and 360. How many solutions should there be?
2.
2 solutions. Okay. So, step 1. Yeah. So when you have a single period, there's 2 solutions. Except when the theta has a number in front of it. So if the theta had a 2 in front of it, you double the number of solutions. A 3, you triple, and so on. So here it's just a 1. So it's 1 period. So 1 theta and 1 period means 2 solutions. If this was up to 720, how many solutions?
4.
4, because you have 2 periods then. And if this was a 2, so if this was a 2 and this was a 720, how many solutions? 8. Because the 2 periods would make a 2 and a 2, which is a 4. And then the 2 here would double it, making it 8. Okay. So let's begin. Step 1, you have sine theta plus 80 degrees equals root 3 over 2. So theta plus 80 degrees equals sine inverse that, which is 60. Yeah. How do I get the second answer for sine? 180 minus it, so that's 120. Next, what do I do? Bring the 80 over, and 200, isn't it? Yeah. And then finally, what do I do? I have to fix the first answer because it fell outside the range. How do I fix it? Yeah, how do I fix it?
Add 360.
Add 360, so I get 340 and 200. How many marks is this?
5.
This, believe it or not, is 5 marks.
Should be 5 marks.
I think it was 5 marks. Yeah, it was 5 marks. That's very generous because there's not even 5 lines. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. So it was a special offer. Do 4 marks, get 1 free. Because there was only 4 lines of work. So it was actually quite a good trig question. It wasn't. There was only 2 solutions as well, you know. It was a good 5-mark question.
Is that possible will we get 8 answers questions?
Oh, that would be very cruel. I don't know.
Yeah, they've done this before.
Have they?
Wait, yeah.
Oh man, that'd be rough. Yeah. How do I get 60? I hope it's sine inverse root 3 over 2.
On your calculator.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
It's a special number.
it is special. All the numbers are special. Some are just more special though.
You know, some
I know what you mean, I know what you mean. Now, I have a, yeah,
Is it 40?
what?
No, it's
What's that?
420 minus 80, 40?
Amjad, you're a genius. He's right. 120 minus 80 is
40.
40. Okay, I take everything back I said about you today. So, yes.
It's 40.
Man, I really function badly when I'm hungry. And I had breakfast, but I skipped my second breakfast.
Seconds.
I have breakfast at home, and then when I get to school, I usually have a little something just to get me through the classes. Yeah. I don't know how you guys can skip breakfast. If I had no breakfast, I'd be going crazy right now. I'm losing my mind.
I've done it all my life. So.
Okay.
Show this to my teacher.
Yes, do, yes. Now, wait, listen up. There's a little bit of homework I want to give you. Can you listen up? A little assignment to do. Remember this, please. Now, I need full attention. I want you looking at me, please. Full attention. Full attention. Okay? The time it should take you... Young Peng. No, put the phone down. Look up at me. The time it should take you to do the question, the maximum time, maximum, is the number of marks plus 1. That's the absolute limit. Okay? So, how long should a section A question take you? Well, that 5-mark question should take you 6. How long should a section B 20-mark question take you?
21.
21 minutes. Okay? Now, there's 4 exams here. So there's 4 versions of the... No, don't pack up. I need full attention. Okay? There's 4 exams here, 4 versions. You have a section A and a B. A section A has 10 questions and it's 40 marks. How long should this take you? 40 plus 10, 50 minutes. Section B, there's 20 marks, 6 questions. 6 times 20 is 120, plus an extra 6 minutes, 126. Now there's 4 versions of each exam, so that's 200, and this is 400 and 504. So in total that's 704 minutes, which is a little bit less than 12 hours, I think. Yeah.
We don't really need this much time as well.
No, I'm talking about homework
Yeah.
as well. So 12 hours, okay? This week you're in school, next week you're in school, but the following Monday begins your break. So you have this week, the weekend, next week, the weekend, and then your break. So that's about 12 days.
Yeah.
So if you do 1 hour per day, times 12, you will cover all of section A and the 4 exams from last year, all of section B questions 1 to 6 in the 4 exams last year. If you do that, you will be in a very good preparation system for your exam. because I suspect the person who is writing the exam this year is the same person who wrote these 4 exams. Now, I know I did some of these questions already, but I still would like you to try them again. So your homework assignment is, some point today, I want you to put together a schedule for the next 12 or so days, so that every question in every version from last year is done. And you need to email me that schedule. Now, perhaps you want to do 1 hour a day. Perhaps you want to do 2 hours, then no maths, and then 2 hours. Perhaps you want to do all the A's, then all the B's. Or maybe you want to go in order from A1 to B6. You know, it's your choice. But I want you to think about what will be best for you over the next 2 weeks and to send me a schedule. And I want you to try and stick to that schedule so that by the end of the 2 weeks you have all the exams from last year done. Okay? I think this will be good for you for preparation. So email me sometime today and begin today. Yeah?
I'm covering topic by topic.
That's fine, yeah. So your schedule might be like, I'll do B1 and B2 tonight, and then
So it's like all the versions together, not like version 1. It's like version 1, the same topic.
you do version 1 B1, version 2 B2. That's fine, that's my point. Whatever schedule works for you for your study habits. Some people like to do the whole exam in one go. Yeah, because they want to practice an exam. Some people want to do it by topic to know where they're strong and weak. That's up to you, okay? So please email me today your schedule and stick to it. I want to see what you're planning for the next 2 weeks. Later today we'll continue with the exam and maybe the workbook.
Please. I've had this question for 2 weeks.
Okay, fine. I won't let you suffer any longer. We'll do that later today. Okay, we'll finish there.